We've seen our kids have meltdowns in shops, at home, at school, for certain reasons, and most of that reason is being overwhelmed by something. Now, what happens when an adult gets overwhelmed? How do they feel? How do they go about their day? Let's take a deep dive in, and I'll let you know what happens to me. G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is, like I said at the start of the video, is on being overwhelmed as an adult who's just been diagnosed with autism. What does it feel like for me, or what did it feel like for me? Well, I'm just going to let you in on a little secret. Oh no, you didn't get none of that, did you? So anyway, I have grown up probably feeling overwhelmed, as most people probably would, thinking it's a normal feeling I get. Feeling like the pressure from school and work, home is in my brain, swirling around like a whirlwind, and that's completely normal. Well, apparently it's not. Apparently that's a sign of being overwhelmed. So again, the mask is coming off, and I'm letting myself feel these feelings for real and doing breath exercises, so mindfulness. Also got my fidgets when I go into public now to help me regulate these emotions that are coming in. But what do I do now that's different to what I did back then? Like I said, I used to, let's start from when I first started my career. I pretty much got told what to do because I was young and I haven't moved up in the world. So leaving school was quite easy, I guess. I moved out, that was a bit of fun. Flew across the other side of the country over to Melbourne and Sydney. That was great as a young teenager, adult, finding my feet in the world. And yes, I did feel different because I'd go to work, we get told to do X, Y, Z, and everyone went off and done it. And here's me trying to take it all in and comprehend what our boss was actually saying or what he wanted to get through to us to go and do. I just thought it was just me being, and this is something I had to mask. I had to pretend like I knew what he was saying at the time and just go off and do it. But lifting that mask off and unpacking what I know about masking, pretty much all those instructions given to me at one time and not explained properly was enough to make my head buffering like a computer when you put too many when you feed it too much information at once and it buffers and you go, ugh. That was my brain. So from a young time, joining the workforce, getting told to do X, Y, and Z at once with little to no direction, very overwhelming for me. I didn't know it was overwhelming at the time, and that explains why I probably used to get angry and have these outbursts. Remember one outburst I had was having lunch in our dining area. Must have been one of those days. And I think someone said something very trivial, and just being overwhelmed through the day's efforts, pegged the butter knife at him and called him a few names and got in trouble. I didn't lose my job, thank God. This was a continuation throughout the years, and to a point where I've had a lot of anger management classes to stop being angry when things get overwhelming. So, for instance, living on my own for the first time, having my own bills to pay, rent, car, fuel, money to live off, to have a bit of fun, going to work, coming home from work, thinking about what I'm going to eat that night. at the time, I thought it's just normal stuff, and feeling that sense of brain fog, that overwhelmness, that tiredness. To me, I thought that that was normal and all adults feel it. But unpacking everything over the last sort of month, knowing that I'm on the spectrum and reading into it a bit more, I was just masking, which sort of stems on from my last video. I'll pop it here and have a look at it, and I'll pop it in the at the end of the video too for you guys to go and have a look at it. But yeah, it's just this immense brain fog to the point where I couldn't take any more. I felt depressed. I felt down in the dumps. To the point where people ask me, like, I've had different friend groups come out and say, right, we're doing this tonight, we're doing that tonight, doing that tonight. As a young adult, you want to go, yeah, let's go out, get on the piss, have a bit of fun, drop some tins and whatnot, go chasing some beautiful ladies around town. Unfortunately, people ask me to go out and to all these different parties and stuff like that too, and I'd get totally overwhelmed, and I'd shut my door and drink on my own and watch sport or TV. The pressure of the social pressure and anxiety from that, I thought was normal, but it's not. It's the hangover, essentially, from what I've been talking about from the last two videos, in the sense of I've masked that much in my life that when I've taken the mask off now to know exactly what has been going on in my life, it's through being neurodivergent. So I hope this is making sense to you, because I feel like I'm just rambling. But that comes down to my little board I made for the last one. So the constant self-monitoring is what I'm doing now. It's what I had to do as well. In these social situations, oh, how come you didn't come to this party? Well, and then the same person who asked me to go to another one will ask the same question in front of the person who asked me why I didn't go to his. And then so on and bounce down the line. Say you had 5 offers to go out. To me, that just blew my mind, and I just, like I said, explode internally and sit at home and soak it all in. So when I'm actually out next week and everyone gets together and we have one big sort of party with the lads, and I was wondering why I was drinking to excess and or too excessive, getting kicked out the nightclub and abusing people, hitting people, punching cars, throwing bottles, throwing Bundy cans at shop windows, for fuck's sake. But now I know why. It's that same sense of what kids get when they're sensory overload from school, noises, lights, or other things they get totally overwhelmed with and they can't self-regulate. I was doing this as an adult on a much bigger scale. And that is, that's me unpacking my overwhelmness as an adult. So it'd be a vicious cycle too. It'd be the fact that work pressures, bit of brain fog. Let's picture it as a, picture it as a glass filling up. Let me just rub my notes off. So bear with us here. And psychologists have actually, proven this point to me and stuff, and I never really fully believed them, because I've always been told I'm, ta-da, neurotypical. Lo and behold, we're not now. So I'd have my cup, I'd have work pressure sitting there, I'd have social pressure, because I lived away from home. Family was in Perth, I was in Darwin, I was in Sydney, lived in Canberra for a bit, so I've done a bit of travelling, and I thought it was great at the time as well, but I didn't realise I had all this piling up in my cup. So I had family to an extent, where I was going to see them next, so they come to visit me next, how come I haven't got a girlfriend yet? And then on top of that, it'd be my home life, paying bills, paying internet, Wi-Fi, back then phone bill, electric, hot water, gas, and by then that cup is filled to the brim. So that would be then leaving me overwhelmed to the point where I was put into these pressure cooker situations and bang, the top would blow off. To the point where essentially I'd be having adult meltdowns in the middle of the street, throwing objects at people at work. I threw a plate across the dining hall at someone. Could have killed them, could have hurt them. So I've been in dangerous situations just through that sense of being overwhelmed without really knowing I was overwhelmed, and haven't had the right tools to actually self-regulate these emotions. I'm going through this same stuff now with my younger daughter, trying to get her to identify these before it becomes a problem. Still, her cup's a lot smaller than mine. Her pressures of life is a little bit less. So with that comes a smaller cup. But, the same pressures are, the pressure doesn't change from your social anxiety to, your school anxiety, which now, as an adult, your work anxiety and so on. So trying to get her to regulate herself, knowing the stuff I know now, is still difficult at times, because even I still get overwhelmed and have these, well, I call them minor outbursts. If putting a hole in the drywall is a minor outburst, and I'll take that one off. But there's been times I've broken things, playing PlayStation at home, and lost the game and hucked the controller. And I get a lot of people do this, but it's not normal. And me, as a young adult, going into my midlife now, knowing I was neurodivergent. If I knew that back then, I could have had the right tools, the mechanisms to control myself before that social cup overflowed with fucking anger. Because why anger? Well, and fight, flight, freeze response. You set the amygdala off in your brain, and it tells you what to do. It takes control, and it's hard for you to control that without coming back down to a baseline. Because I was running on high alertness, nervous energy. I was quick to go to that part of the brain to do my decision making, and we all know that that's not a good way to make decisions. So sorry, I'm just getting a bit overwhelmed doing this myself. But yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that it set me up to fail, essentially. Fight, flight, or freeze response. Obviously, when you drink, a lot of the time it's either fight or you cry like a little bitch. And you see it all the time in nightclubs. There's a big tough dude with tattoos. My girlfriend left me crying, rah, rah. He's built all that energy up, and his cup's is overflowing, and there's nothing much the guy could do. And alcohol obviously initiates. A lot of that's a depressant, not good for you. That's why I have been trying so hard to give it up this year. It has been very difficult in itself. So I had that pressure as well, especially in social situations. Next month, I'll be overseas at a wedding where you're expected to drink, expected the toast. At the moment, and the pressure of actually traveling as well is a bit of pressure on me as well. A teenage daughter with hormones changing, plus the daughter here who's got ASD. I've got these pressures as well. I've got an ex. We do get on quite well. I've always said that. And we're taking my mum with us. So, there's a lot, and plus work. Lucky I'm in a workplace now where that pressure is settled a bit. So it's reduced the stuff going into that cup a lot better. And essentially, knowing what I know now, I know how to manage it. I can know when to say no. If it gets too much, I know what to do. I've got the tools for that now. I can sit in a meeting and listen to people bullshit on have my fidget with me to help me self-regulate, have a drink of water to slow that, I can't remember what it's called now, someone in the comments, leave, who knows what I'm on about or knows what I'm trying to say, put the, write it up in the comment section, be sick. But yeah, so that's been my tough road to autism, essentially, which I am going to do starting Sunday, a series on how I got to my diagnosis. But this is just a little insight on how I've been feeling pretty much my whole adult life. So overwhelmed without being known I'm overwhelmed and just thinking it was normal, and that's how adults get on with their life. Not like that, apparently. I did not know. So my life, I've had a great life, don't get me wrong. It's been fun, it's been enjoyable, it's been sad, it's been happy, it's been times you just want to hide in a cave like Bin Laden. Oops, shouldn't be saying that with that on, should I? But yeah, you know, that's my life in a nutshell. Overwhelmness, social pressures, internal pressures, and meltdowns. So I hope this movie has made sense to you guys. Hope some of you can relate to it. If you're the first time watching the channel, thank you for watching. Can you hit the like, subscribe if you can, be perfect. Those of you who are back at the channel, please let me know in the comments how you found this video. But the basis of my channel to start off with was to raise awareness for autism. However, it's taken a bit of a twist now. I'm on my own journey to finding autism in myself and help my daughter, say hello.
Hello.
To help her overcome her difficulties with autism as well. I got a question. Yes?
Shower.
Yeah, go. She just wants to shower now. It's her way of self-regulating. So she's all over. She's better than I am. She's teaching me stuff, you know. Listen to the kids. They are smart little buggers, okay? Whether on the spectrum or not. We should show more respect to our children, I think, in that respect as well. But yes, thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell your friends, your family, your workers, your unco-workers. Tell everybody I'm trying to get autism out there for the world to understand it properly and know what people go through in life through difficult times. So again, thank you. And like I round off my every videos, peace, love and autism, guys. Take care, and I'll see you at the next video.